So is it time to be bullish? Is it time to be bearish on Polkadot? I'm Keith. This is Crypto Bullseye, and Polkadot's trading at $3.81. Now, we need to look, we need to understand, we need to identify exactly what's happened in the short term. So we're going to zoom in and we're going to zoom in and we're going to zoom in. You can see one thing. We've got a trend line here. We've got one touch, we've got two touch, we've got three touch. You see this time and time again. You get the one touch, then you get the two touch. You can add your trend line in at that point, and then what happens? You get a 1, you get a 2, and you get a 3 fake out. So 2 days ago, we got a 1, 2, 3 fake out, and that told a story. Told a story that we dropped this trend line, and if we didn't manage to regain this trend line, we were expecting to reject at this level and then a further move to the downside. However, what happened? That was met by a bullish response. So we got a full-bodied bullish engulfing candle, which took out the open, took out the close of the previous day, and managed to push us back into trend. So it's pushed us back into trend. That's bullish. We've got an area of resistance that we need to overcome before we can actually turn bullish in the short term and then make those big swings to these resistance points, to these resistance points, and even higher. So that's what we're going to talk about. What needs to happen in the short term? We're going to look at the chart. We're going to analyze this wedge pattern that we're in. Once we break to the upside, I've got resistance points that we need to talk about. Let's dive in. So in the short term, what do we need to do? We need to break the wedge to the upside. In the very short term, what we need to do is we need to regain this area. This area is going to be around about the $4 range. You can see how price respects this. If you just pull it back and pull it back and pull it back, clues look left, and you can see how price respects this area. So we're talking about this wedge. What we'll do is we'll stick in a fixed range volume profile all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, and we're going to find the biggest area of traded volume, and you can see it coincides exactly with this around the $4 mark, $3.96 to be exact. So in the short term, $3.96, that's the area. Aim of the game in the midterm is to break out of this wedge. Where's the next resistance point? Next key psychological level, it's going to be $5. Whereas the next resistance point is $5.43. How do we know that? Because this was resistance here, this was resistance here, and this up here at $6 is going to be the next psychological round number that we need to overcome. So that is the short term, that is the midterm. $3.95 in the short term. Then we've got these resistance barriers. But once you break through this wedge, you start seeing one thing. You start seeing limited volume, which means limited resistance, which means the bulls have got control, and then you'll see acceleration. So when we zoom out on Polkadot, we've got two counts here. We've got the all-time high count, and that's the Fibonacci retracement from its all-time high to its bear market low. And we've got the conservative bullseye method, where you go from the lower high and then you go all the way back down to the bear market low. So that's more conservative. There's a higher probability that that's going to happen. So are we going to hit any key areas of here? This is the lower count, and you can see that this is a 38.2% retracement. You can see one thing, it's been respected a couple of times already. So it's been respected here. It's been respected here. Well, get rid of that. It's been respected here. So we know that that's the top of the range. We know that we need to break out from there. Where's the next big point? It's all the way up here, $15.99, just under $16. That's the 61.8. That's the golden retracement from this lower high, which is the bear market lower high. Then you got the 78.6, and volume starts getting less and less as you start pushing up. In fact, what we'll do is we'll rinse and repeat it on the higher time frame, and we'll get a fixed range volume profile from this point here, find out what the biggest sticking point is. We'll just stick that on. Try again. Stick that on all the way from this high all the way down here. You can see, look at this. This is going to be a big resistance barrier. Once we get above there, volume gets less, volume gets less. So that means that the swings will get harder, the swings will get faster, to be harder to get, the pullbacks won't be as big, and it's going to move a lot more quickly. So that's the short term, that's the midterm, that's the long term on Polkadot. What do I know as far as the bull market high is concerned? Will it put in a new bull market high? I haven't got a clue. We're going to look and analyze in accordance with time what happens as far as the big swings are concerned, what happens as far as the macro is concerned, what happens with Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of these big players like the dollar, the strength of the dollar. These are big factors that we look at on this channel to understand and analyze exactly when it is time to be on risk. Am I going to be on risk for a long period of time? i.e., am I going to be on risk for years? No, I'm not, guys. I'm using altcoins as a mechanism to be able to build a portfolio of low risk assets that are going to outperform in a bear market, so I can run the next bull market with the biggest advantage possible. I'm going to keep learning, guys. I've been in the game for 5 years. I've constantly taught myself every single day something new. Take out 10 minutes, take out 20 minutes, take out half an hour every day, spend that on self-development, and then you're going to create passive incomes on the side to be able to give you a better work-life balance. And I'm on my journey here, guys. I'm glad you're on my journey with me. And we're going to make this journey a journey to success. But understand your altcoin bags are not going to go to the moon during a bear market. You're going to lose a lot of money during the bear market. So it's important to have that exit strategy. Do you want to talk about exit strategies more? Let me know in the comments if that's what you want. Don't forget, get yourself in the Discord group. It is completely free. And I'll see you guys in the next one.